What's up, everybody? How we doing? Welcome to an impromptu Paraverse podcast, and I mean impromptu because this was supposed to happen yesterday, but it's happening today, so y'all can just deal with it. I don't know. I don't know how to say that, but tonight I am joined, as you can see, by none other than Big Rob from the Patrol. What's up, brother? Good morning.
Alrighty.
Good morning to you, seriously. And
That's
of
it, yeah.
course, the always favorite. I know she's mine, the Wicked Queen. Hi, B.
Hi.
She's right here. We have the portal here. You ready? We have the patrol. And usually Rob has Nando from Portal. Well, here's the portal right here. Just right here. Check this out. You see? There's the portal in my hand. See? So tonight, guys, we're going to be chatting about, as it says, some conspiracies. We've got some new ones. We got some new ones out and about, and I know last night, if you guys saw, my brother Paul Stokes from Mystic Paranormal UK was gracious enough to have me on, and we were talking about some things, and the topic of conspiracies came up. And for those of you who have seen, actually Rob and myself and Wild Bill, we got on. It was a hell of a topic.
It was.
We had a lot of fun with that. I don't know, B, if you saw it, but Bill, we let Bill cut loose, and we let him just go to town. And I know I enjoyed myself, Rob. I know you enjoyed yourself. So
Oh yeah, great.
So we're gonna continue this tonight. So if you like conspiracies, stick around. We're sure to have some fun. More than likely, the Wicked Queen and I are going to get into it at some point because that's what we do. I like to just annoy her.
I don't want to be annoyed anymore today.
I love you.
I've had enough.
Well, we're going to have fun regardless. So, you will have fun. I will force you to have fun.
Like you forced me to watch the cat video about the Belle song, or about the songs from Beauty and the Beast.
Do you remember Be Our Guest?
Yeah.
From Beauty and the Beast? They did one. It was called I'm a Cat in that same tune.
Be a Cat.
Or Be a Cat. Yeah, that's right. It was Be a Cat, and it was to that tune.
The other one was Gaston's song.
Oh my lord.
The stupid shit I sent her.
The no one fights like a cat. No one
bites like a cat. Yeah.
Bites like a cat. No one begs for treats like a cat.
Rob, I'll have to find that and send it to you. But
Yeah,
actually, did I send it to you, B?
Yeah, you did.
I know I sent you the one.
No, you sent me the cat one. It's like right at the bottom.
Not. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that one here. I just saw the shirt I sent you. The shirt design I sent you.
That one, yeah, I showed it to two of my coworkers and they laughed.
Yeah, we'll show. Hey, Dan. Dan's joining us tonight. What's up, Dan? How you doing, brother? Dan, actually, I don't know if you know this, Rob, but Dan actually owns his own haunted house, like haunted attraction, but it's also haunted as well, and that's Warriors Haunted Asylum in Wisconsin, here in the States.
nice.
Beautiful location. So, but I'm gonna send this. I don't know if I can show this.
You can't, not without getting in trouble.
Well,
YouTube.
well.
You get in trouble on YouTube, you can't show it.
All right, I just sent it to you, Rob. Look, I'll let you be the judge. Should we show it or not show it?
You'll get YouTube in trouble.
So Rob's going to be the deciding factor.
Oh, don't put this on me.
You'd be in trouble with YouTube.
Oh wow. Well, this is a controversial conspiracy show, so you know.
I think there's more truth to that one.
Like I said, you'll get in trouble with YouTube.
Well,
Yeah.
we won't tease everybody. You know what? Here's what I'll do.
Maybe Facebook.
Here's what I'll do. I'll show everybody before we get into a lot of the conspiracies. I'll show everybody our new merch. Rob, I sent them to you. You saw them.
Yeah.
I sent them to the Wicked Queen. She saw them. She really likes the ones I made for her, which are kind of like right on the on which ones are for her. Some of them I just couldn't resist. I couldn't help myself. So we'll show everybody. And again, Dan said he won't report it. I'll send it. I'll send it to you. But we have some new merch out. Again, it's paraconsultantstore.com. And now until October 1st, all proceeds are going to be going to the Jessica Marie Petrie Foundation. I might do something after that. We might pick a new charity to go to. I'm not sure yet, but we'll figure it out. We'll get it figured out. But
Yeah, I'm a charity.
I'm a charity case. I need all the help I can get. She just agrees. Okay. So here's the one. Here's one. So this, Rob, as you know,
Yep.
one of the big things, and if you will, conspiracy in what are you after?
This fruit fly.
Oh, she found a fruit fly that she's trying to grab. But have you know what fruit flies are, Rob?
Fruit flies. Yeah.
Yeah, those little thing. Yeah, we got a couple of them.
Annoying little things.
But you know as well as I do, Rob, one of the biggest conspiracies or debates in the paranormal is orbs.
Yes.
I had to. I just had to.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
The next one goes out to somebody who I absolutely loathe. He called us demons. We all know who I'm talking
I
about.
like that one.
I like that shirt. That was one of my favorites.
I had to put a shot out to that one investigator, and I use that term very loosely, just because everything's a demon or a demonic. I had to throw that in there. Some of these, like I said, folks, are just so random and stupid that I couldn't help myself. This one goes out to the Wicca Queen. This is a skeleton cat and a skeleton ghost. Or skeleton ghost. What the fuck am I saying? Cat ghost. Yeah.
Ghost.
I don't know why I just saw this design and just made it. So I don't know. That's one of hers. This one I just could not stop laughing. I don't know why. I couldn't stop laughing, but I just every time I see this, I just start laughing my ass off. Oh shit! And here's another
Kitty
new
and a
design.
pumpkin.
Yeah,
That's nice.
yeah. We have. I can come up with some cute little ideas every once in a while. Now the next one, I think, is just one of those that I had to.
I like that one.
I think I had to. Anybody in the paranormal that has merchandise, you kind of have to do something with a skeleton. That one just, yeah, I don't know. And of course, the last one is actually the one Brian John from Mister. He doesn't understand, but I think some of us will, and that's this one. Yeah. Again, it's one of those ones I just couldn't stop laughing. Oh shit! But again,
they do that in that game.
What game?
The Destroy All Humans game.
Oh,
wasn't it one
yeah.
of the games or whatever where you had to pick up 100 cows or something?
Something like that. I don't know.
Spaceship.
I don't remember, but just the look on the cow's face just gets me every time. So, but again, guys, all that merch is available at paraconsultantstore.com. Go check it out. And like I said, we might do another charity after the 1st of October. We'll see. But anyway, speaking of conspiracies, and by the way, the aliens, Ron from RRLC. What's up, brother?
It's almost that time, dude.
What time?
Where we dye my hair.
Oh, yes. You want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Go ahead, talk about it.
So starting in October, it's cancer. I know everybody says it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but I call it Cancer Awareness Month for like everybody who has cancer. But I dye my hair pink because my grandmother passed away from cancer. And her favorite color was pink, so the whole entire month of October I have my hair pink.
Nice.
Nice little nod.
I think Matt should join you. Not his hair, but he could do his goatee pink.
He won't do anything pink. I've tried getting him to dye his hair pink.
Well, we did have one time where my hair turned pink by
that
accident.
was when we dyed it red.
Yeah.
And I told you to leave it that color, but you demanded I put more red in your hair. I dyed it pink, and he didn't want pink, so we got red hair dye for him, and it turned pink when it fades. The red does. Yeah. So it turned pink, and he was not having it. He's like, "You're putting more dye in my hair, like right now."
I washed it out, and it was straight up. I mean, we're not even talking like a dark pink.
No, it was like
hot
my hair
pink.
was neon pink. Do you have a picture of me with neon pink?
Somewhere. But it was just straight up like hot pink, and I was like, nope, not playing that game. I'll wear pink, but that was a little much for me. But anyway, so the first conspiracy I want to talk about actually goes along with some of the merch, and that's the aliens.
Yep.
Rob, I know you've seen it by now. Most of us have, whether it's been on TikTok, Facebook, or even the news. And that is these extraterrestrial, the non-human biologics from Mexico.
Yeah.
First of all, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, we said this last time, didn't we? That we can't be the only living thing in the whole of the universe. So there's got to be some truth behind some of these videos that are coming out. And the fact that now your government are not denying it and giving us a little bit more information kind of like suggests that they've known they've been here long enough.
Yeah, but to have something like that, I mean, there's a difference to me, like we said, until it becomes like commonplace to say that 100%, yeah, they're one of us, that they're around. To put it on a big display like that, like that's a hell of a statement.
Yeah,
like that. I mean, you're just talking from going from 0 to 100. It's now.
Yeah, well, this is it, isn't it? It's come out very quickly, and now it's just escalating. Like everyone's suddenly seeing them wherever they go now.
Well, more specifically with this one in Mexico, do you think that's legit? Then do you think that's a real body?
No.
It's hard because what do aliens look like? None of us have actually really seen one up close. No. So anyone could find something and say, because it doesn't look human, that it's alien.
No, it's like look at that one body that they found in Mexico that they claimed was the chupacabra, and here it was just a freaking goat that had sat out in the sun decomposing.
Yeah, it was rabbit.
But it was, huh?
It was like a rabbit goat or something that.
Yeah, it was a rabbit goat that died.
Some kind of deformity.
And it had some kind of deformity. So when the farmers found it, they said it was a chupacabra because it sat in the sun for days and days and days and decomposed before anybody found it.
And Dan's saying he doesn't believe the Mexico one because it looks too fake.
Exactly.
And that's the other thing too. Like, to me,
why I said no.
I don't want to call it like a sarcophagus or a coffin. The thing that was in this box, it just looked set up. You know what I mean? Like it looked planted.
But you can buy props, can't you? You know, you can. There's so many people that work in the industry where you can buy some sort of prop. You've only got to let it, elements get to it. A few weeks later, it's like, oh, we'd get it dirty, we'd dash it somewhere, we'd take a picture of it. Oh, look, I've found an alien.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they had x-rays there too, but
Screw the X-rays.
Like they had like MRIs there. They had a bunch of different things, and
I want the alien to be alive and be able to talk to me before I believe that they actually come to Earth.
I mean, yeah.
And I want to know why they come to Earth. That's why I want one to talk to me.
Fair shout.
I mean, well, there again, and this is something that Rob and I discussed with Bill. You know, it's just like in the paranormal field. You're not going to have any type of definitive evidence. There's always going to have something. You're always going to have something else, and it's always going to be, oh, that's CGI.
Yeah,
that's CGI. That's this. That's that. And even with an alien, I mean, they have videos. They have videos apparently of these interviews. I don't know if you've seen them, but they say that in Area 51, they have these interviews with this gray, non-human biologic.
But it's a gray alien, is what they're called. Okay,
Yeah,
right.
non-human biologic. I'm keeping that. I like that.
Whatever. But it's
I'm surprised
they
that's not
have
on t-shirt.
They have, according
time.
to Area 51, they have different classifications of alien type species. There's the most common that they think come to Earth a lot and are more scientifically advanced than us, and they're the gray aliens.
Yeah.
They're the ones with the big heads and the black eyes and
Yeah.
And then I don't know, like even with these interview tapes, just to me the movement isn't right. It's paranormal.
The wicked
yeah, no.
queen has control.
I have control over
She always
everything.
does.
I have control over everything.
That's why I have the sharp
I'm
objects
just
over
in the
here.
background.
I'm just waiting for Mulder and Scully to turn up and start doing their investigations.
Mulder and Scuddy. What the fuck? Scully. Scuddy. That's a new one. It's a mix between Scully and Cuddy from House. Scuddy. It's their cousin. But if you get those references, thank you. But it's gonna be those two. It's gonna be Dean and what's his face?
Dean and Sam.
Sam. I don't know.
How dare
I
you?
don't fucking know. You watch that, not me.
But how
James,
dare
hey.
you? How dare you know Dean but not know Sam?
It's the first one that people talk about, Dean. I don't know. And I
Which
have a
one was
Dean.
the good looking one? Which one's the one with short hair?
Dean.
Dean, yeah, the good looking one. That's the one that you always remember.
That's why I'm not remembered. I'm not good looking.
I like Sam.
I'm just an asshole.
I like Sam because he's always the one that's like bad things happen to him all the fucking time. And not a whole lot of bad things happen to Dean. And I feel sad for Sam. Even though I also feel sad for Dean because he's the only older sibling like me. I'm the only older sibling.
Dan saying Dean is cooler.
But I relate to Dean because I'm literally the only older sibling. And you know this because I have 2 younger brothers. And I'm the role model. I'm supposed to be the good child.
Yeah. I have a younger sister. That went right out the window.
Yeah, same. Now apparently my brothers are better than me.
I'm adopted.
You also have no siblings that you biologically know of. So
I can be related to anybody.
because he's adopted.
But no, I could see it. I could just see it now. Like
You could be related to me and not know it.
that'd be weird.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that would be weird.
that would definitely change the dynamic of our relationship.
Why? I dated my second cousin.
Oh, that's true. But it to be a little bit further now. Anyway, this incest is not a conspiracy.
It can be.
But
Do aliens do incest?
oh,
Is
that'd
that
be
a
good one.
taboo in their like life?
How do they even do it?
Yeah, there's more questions about that. There are 2 conspiracies: incest and how do they have sex, period.
I feel like this should be on the Petri dish or in Holy Trinity, though.
No. It's on this show right now. I'm talking about it. I brought it up. You opened the door, but I
Leave that stuff for the South. I agree with Dan.
I just took the door off the hinges and was
Leave
like,
it for-
go.
Yes,
leave it
you
for-
did.
Leave it for Alabama. Ding, 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 ding.
No, it's like the mountains in Virginia.
Or Tennessee or
Well, the
Kentucky. Raymond.
mountain man. Yeah, Raymond. What about that?
We'll bring Raymond into this.
You live in Kentucky.
But no, like I don't know, like the whole interview, like all the tapes. If you watch these Roswell tapes of this interview with the Gray,
Do they even talk, or is it true that they just do math?
no, they like in this interview, it's like from what the 80s or something like that, Rob.
Yeah. Yeah, early
It's-
80s.
It's like the old VHS recording, so it's like real grainy and stuff.
Well, yeah.
And you have some kind of agent or person that's interviewing this Gray, and the Gray is like the lighting even sucks. Like it's not like it's right there.
I was asking that because NASA believes that aliens and like when they come and they leave crop circles, they're mathematical patterns.
They are.
But that's what I'm saying. Was the Gray actually talking, or
Oh, yeah.
did he
No, this
speak
was-
in math?
No, this was actually
Like they had
a
to
legit.
give him a pen and paper, and he
No,
wrote
no,
out
no,
math
no, no, no.
equations.
This was a legit conversation, like what we're having.
Well,
Yeah.
that sounds like a person in a suit.
And that's what I'm saying. Like
That's what a lot of people thought, wasn't it?
I kind of still do.
Yeah.
I mean, it would make sense too that if this interview was a test to
And
make
especially
public to
with,
see
like,
how the populace would handle it.
What NASA feels now, where the aliens are communicating in math, advanced math problems, like more advanced math than what we can like comprehend. Like it's not trigonometry or geometry or anything that we have now. It's like a mixture of every type of math together into one thing.
So
Well-
I'm gonna answer Dan then, where Dan says he lives near the UFO capital. Dan, have you ever seen a UFO?
An actual one, not shit just flying around.
Yeah, because if he lives near the capital, you know, and apparently we're getting visited more and more often now, according to NASA and the government. Surely Dan would have seen one by now.
He says not yet.
So it makes
They're-
you wonder, doesn't it?
They're afraid of Dan.
They're afraid of Wisconsin.
No, just Dan. Just Dan.
Well, there you go. Maybe they're afraid of us too, because we've never seen one either.
No, I mean I've seen some lights that I just can't place that definitely weren't stars, and I didn't hear any airplanes. But sit there and say it was, ET.
Well, I mean, I've seen stuff here too. I've lived here for 28 years, but we have military helicopters and like military planes fly over all the time.
Yeah. I
And
don't know.
nowadays, a lot of them don't make any sound whatsoever when they fly over, so
No,
you
they're all
don't
stealth.
know.
Well, they said that the classic triangle shape lights that we're seeing over, out west, is the bombers, is some of those bombers, stealth bombers that they were testing
stealth
out.
bombers. Yeah.
So, look, I did have a meteor chunk land 100 yards from my place.
Did you pick it
Oh
up?
wow.
Do you have it?
That's cool. Well,
Yeah.
hell, Abyss Paranormal, they have a meteorite.
'Cause
Yeah.
I want a meteorite.
Well, there's like this really big one near where Vicky and Abyss Paranormal investigated for the May event.
That to me, I would take a chisel and a hammer, and I would fucking take a chunk.
Take a bit off, yeah. Too right.
Well, Rob, you watched the Global Ghost Hunt. Did you catch Abyss Paranormal?
Yep.
That huge rock that they were at. That's
Yeah.
what that boulder looking thing. That's the meteorite.
Well, there's plenty there then. Just go there and start chiseling away, Mackenzie.
Well,
I'd totally do that
I
too.
think Vicky said that when it hit or when it fell or whatever like that, I guess.
Wait, first question before I start doing anything that's illegal. Is there security?
I don't fucking know. I don't live there.
Second question, will I be arrested if I take meteorite chunk?
I
No, I
doubt
don't
it.
think you will.
As long as you don't use explosives, I think you'll be okay.
Will I be charged by the federal government for having a meteor chunk?
I don't know. You have to talk to Vicky.
That was a federal government question. You have a felony, so is it a felony to have
I
a
don't
meteor?
know. I don't know them all.
I'm gonna look that up now.
Oh God. Here we go. Ooh. Let's see. Dan says the neighbor got it. They even have security footage of it landing in the backyard. Holy shit.
Oh, nice.
Well,
it big?
there was that one in Russia a couple of years back. I don't know, Rob, if you remember this, but it was so bright that it was at nighttime, and this thing flew across the sky and it blinded everybody. It was that big, and they said that you could hear it. But I don't know. I mean, as far as aliens are concerned, like look at
I spell meteor.
METOR.
But also, Matt, let's just face it, because none of us have seen them, what's to say that they don't look like us?
Well,
And
and
they're
that's
already walking around with us now.
now you're talking on that the Men in Black theory that
You can
is in our
legally
community.
own a piece of a meteor. It's not illegal.
Well, then I'll get a baseball glove and just go outside and wait.
So if we ever go to where Abyss is, I can legally take a piece of that meteor and I won't be arrested.
Well, there you go. We'll meet up with Vicky. Meet up with Vicky and
Mackenzie.
we'll send one to you. We'll send it to you. No, better yet, Rob, you just come over. Come on holiday. Bring
It's in the
Nando,
works for next year. It's in the works for next year.
bring Nando and Sarah.
Each person, I'll just chisel off a piece for everybody.
There you go. Screw
Except for you, because
Hey.
you live with me, so you'll have a piece.
I'll break a piece off of yours.
What the fuck's the point of that? It's gonna be in the same room.
Oh. Just to make my mind
Mackenzie, you
work.
need a medal, babe. Honestly, you do need a medal.
I need a medal for dealing with his ass all the time. I need like an award to staple or put up in the studio that says I deal with Mac's ass.
Yeah.
You should make an award.
Tempt me.
Do it.
Okay. But actually, it was funny that actually came up last night on GGH Live. And yes, folks, we're going on tangents here. Welcome to the show.
I wasn't really on a tangent. I just wanted to know if it was illegal to own a meteorite.
I don't know. But the conversation with the Wicked Queen and I came up last night on GJ's Live. I think Brian was saying that he's like, everyone was saying they're looking forward to seeing us investigate New Orleans just because of Pennhurst. And everybody seemed to have a good response with that. Especially us, like the way her and I are together on the shows. Like this is how we are. This is us. But I said this is going to be worse than Pennhurst because you're not just going to have me and the Wicked Queen just having a good old time. You're throwing Howard Petrie into the mix of this.
It's going to be carnage.
And I can't wait. And hopefully Jackie will be there too. But no, Rob, you're going back to what you were just saying. You know, you're straight up talking about the Men in Black theory.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you're talking about. And
or V, going back to our age, where V was about, you know, the lizards in human.
Well, what they say now, they're saying that the lizard people apparently are down in Antarctica. They're in inner Earth.
I don't think they'd be in Antarctica.
Oh no, that's what they're talking about. They're saying like that's where they're at. Them and this other civilization are in control of literally everything in the world, from climate to the economies, everything. Everything happens
What's
through
that
this.
one show that we watched together? About the secret society, the adult cartoon one.
Inside Job?
Yeah, where they had that a lot of the celebrities on Earth were lizard people,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
a
yeah,
lot
yeah,
of diplomats, and they were reptilians. That's it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's on the Netflix. It's called Inside Job, and it's a great show.
It's about a secret government society.
Well, it's not. No, it's
It's not the Illuminati.
no, it's the. I want to say it's the CIA.
It's not the CIA either. They're above the CIA. They have way higher clearance.
Either way, but they're in control of like everything, including the Illuminati.
Shadow
and-
society.
yeah.
Shadow government. That's
it.
what it is. The shadow government. They're called the shadow government. So they're the government above the government.
Yeah.
So you have the government, and then you have the shadow government, which is what controls the regular government.
Ah, okay. Well,
And
there
that's
was a
what they-
rumor that our queen was a werewolf. She got
Yeah.
bit by a werewolf, like way down her ancestry. So it's like,
Well, there is apparently there is some village in over in Europe somewhere. I can't remember where. I just saw this, and it was an actual documentary of this individual who went out looking for this village because apparently there was werewolves. Like the whole village was werewolves, and he wanted to get proof of this.
That doesn't sound safe.
Well, no shit, but
Well, I mean, I thought I seen a werewolf when I went trick or treating, and I fucking ran the other direction. Why would you go looking for an entire village full of werewolves?
well, he actually tried to find this, and the legend or whatever, what the accounts is, he found the village, he went there, and when he went there, it was just in time for the full moon. And during the day, he met the people. They were great. They were nice to him, very polite. Once nighttime came, the full moon came out, he witnessed the entire village turn into these werewolves. And when he tried to leave, they basically captured him.
wow.
So,
Oh yeah, they were gonna eat him.
and here's the thing, it wasn't like this was back in the 1800s or the 1700s. This was, you're talking like early 2000s. So
Gee.
fairly recent that this happened, because he ended up like calling his wife and everything like that, and him and the village have never been found.
He's dead. They ate him.
Europe somewhere.
Either that or down south.
Again, he's dead. They ate him.
Oh, absolutely.
They
But-
definitely ate him.
Werewolf.
Possibly.
Well, if they captured him, I'm assuming they were going to eat him.
But no, I mean,
Free food.
Well-
Entice people to come looking for your village, and then you get free food. Like the episode of Dark Shadows last night
that was funny.
with the bed and breakfast for the vampires.
Have you ever seen that show?
No.
It's called What We Do in the Shadows, and it's about these vampires that live in this day and age and how they relate. It's like a documentary. It's really funny.
But the episode we watched last night was one of the older vampires and another older vampire.
That's right there. Dan's got it
Yeah.
right. To take some squeaky toys.
And they didn't, or the oldest vampire didn't want to go back to his little cell that they had him locked in. So they put him in a cabin in the middle of nowhere
Mm-hmm.
with this other older vampire. And they said that it was easier now in this day and age to get food because they made the little cabin a bed and breakfast. But the people never left, they ate them.
Oh wow.
Makes you really want to question whether you want to go to a B&B, huh?
Yeah.
We were gonna stay in a B&B in New Orleans.
Yeah, thank God we didn't. But no, I
A
mean,
lot of them too, though, I've heard are bad because they have a whole a lot depending on the person can have like fucking 20 rules,
oh yeah,
20 or 30 or 50 rules.
yeah.
I seen one on not on Facebook, on TikTok. Somebody stayed at. The dude's list on the fridge was like 50 rules that you had to absolutely follow, otherwise you couldn't stay there.
I'd tell them where to go. But no, like I was on something. I was on to something here. But
This week's toy.
we took the tangent and I lost track of what I was gonna say. Oh, Well, you're talking and going back to like the aliens and stuff like that. And we spoke about this earlier, Rob, with Bill, the the Black Knight satellite.
Yeah.
It's, as far as I understand, it's still there. It's still there. So why haven't we seen that? That's in our low orbit. Why haven't we checked that out?
Well, again, they've just landed on the other side of the moon, haven't they, as well, with their probes? So
Well,
what are we going to see from that?
The dark side
Well,
of the moon.
Well, and that's the other thing. Like, and while Bill said it, the moon doesn't rotate like ours does. Like,
No, that's why there's a light side and a dark side. The light side is the warmer side that faces the sun, and then the dark side is the one that faces the void of space.
and apparently,
It's inhabitable to humans. You can't cross that threshold.
well, no,
otherwise
but
you'll
apparently, and I looked into what Bill was saying when we were talking about this. He was 100% right. There's a theory out there that when we landed the first time on the moon, well, the first time, we were told not to come back.
Yeah.
There was a species there that threatened us and said that we were never allowed to come back.
They went ahead and told Neil Armstrong that he was the first man on the moon and will remain the first man on the moon.
Well, it wasn't Neil Armstrong. That was staged.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was done by Spielberg, wasn't it? In a nice studio somewhere.
It was a Rob Zombie flick. Quentin Tarantino starred in it.
Let's face it. Bill had some pretty damning evidence when we were talking about it on mine and Nando's podcast. Like, he was talking about the footprint left on the moon was different to the boots that they were wearing.
Yep, I've heard that too.
The flag was flying, but there's no air up there.
Well, I forget if it was Mythbusters that debunked that or somebody else, but somebody debunked that. And they said that the reason why it looked like it was waving was because of how it was folded. Because obviously they can't just take up a full flag by it. They have to fold it up. And it wasn't in its traditional triangle shape that you see. It was in a square.
Well, they have to fold it as small as they can get it because they're going into the vacuum of space.
Of course. So because there's no gravity there, and because obviously, they probably didn't take the typical fabric that the flag usually has, when they unfolded it, it still had those creases in it. And those creases made it look like it was, so to me, if that one was legit, that would make sense because there's no gravity to pull this out. Pull the creases.
Who filmed him walking off the spaceship then?
See, that's what I don't get. See, and that's the other. I'm not saying that it was fake. I'm not saying that at all. The only thing I can say is the only thing I can even fathom is it was recreated. He basically went off he went off first. They recorded everything he said, and then they set up for him to do it again. So what we're seeing is actually the second time he was on the moon, not the first. That's the only thing I can say, because it's just like if you're doing some kind. Think of these shows like Survivor Man.
Yep.
Survivor Man. He's out there by himself. How is he recording him walking to and from places? He even says he has to go walk this path, set his camera down, walk back, and then walk again. So to me, that would make sense. If they want to record this moment in history, with some kind of record keeping, that would make sense to me. They would have to do it the second time. So what we're seeing is the second time he's doing it, and they're just dubbing over his voice.
So the next question then is, why have we not been more times then? Because technology has improved. We've had bigger and better spaceships, but we can't land on the moon.
Oh, I'm not, like, again, I'm not saying I don't deny that there's some bullshit going on. I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination. The only thing I can say is your guess is as good as mine. Let's look at any government. Nothing against, Parliament or nothing against anybody or anything else.
As is cricket.
we're we're not too far off over here.
Has
But
yours said about a lockdown yet before Christmas?
oh, we were hearing about different things.
Because as have said, the chances are we're being locked down at Christmas because of yet another new strain of COVID-19.
You
Well,
know,
there's a whole unit at my place of work that has COVID.
well, I heard this new strain's
So
coming.
it's only a
from-
matter of time before the rest of them get it, and then we'll be on a freaking everything's got to be on a COVID cart, and it's got to be disposable, and
Yeah.
Well, I heard the new strain's coming from Canada this time, so it's like, okay, thanks, Brian.
well, there we
Yeah,
go. We can blame the Canadians.
Canadians.
Just lock Brian away.
There you go.
If he gets
Now, there's an
freaking
idea.
COVID
Hmm.
or whatever before we go to New Orleans and we have our little like costume party or whatever, if we can't get legally married because we can't find the paperwork.
Hmm.
But he's not coming. He can stay the fuck away from me with his COVID.
He'll be across the street.
Go over there.
We'll have a COVID table set up for Brian.
Go over to the fire station across the street. Go sit in the pavilions over there.
We have binoculars set up for him.
Yeah.
And a little walkie-talkie.
He can be dressed up in his costume as far away from me as possible.
And I agree, Dan. And this is one of them right here.
No, yeah.
Mhm.
But I think because in the UK they made so much of a hash the last time round where our government carried on having parties while the rest of us were locked down, people won't do it now. They won't give a shit. They'll be like, whatever, force us to stay in the house because it ain't going to happen.
Yeah, I don't. See, I just think that going back to what we discussed before, it's one of those look over here while I'm doing this scenarios.
But it's also
Everybody-
convenient that it's happening at a time that we're heading into a general election and then all of a sudden, oh, COVID-19's back. Bigger and stronger. You can't go out to vote now.
Well, what?
I don't vote, so
Robert Kennedy. That's who it was. I don't know if you've heard about this yet, Rob, but apparently there were some Democrats that told Robert Kennedy that if he were to run in the election against Biden, that they would literally, in a bunch of different states, they would say that those votes for him would not count. They would make sure of that.
Surely Biden can't run again. He can't even string a sentence together.
The fucker can't even walk, let alone run. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, some of the things, I don't know if you did you catch any of what he said when he was over?
Oh yeah,
in
we have an online news thing over here. So the normal news is very good and won't say anything, but we have these guys that are online that just literally rip the shit out of Biden. So
you know, and here's the thing, like everyone's saying, like, well, the Democrats are saying how good of a job they're doing. It's like,
no, you're doing a bad job.
well, I mean, okay, so everybody says that Jeff Dunham is the best ventriloquist out there, which I think we can all agree. I love Jeff. Jeff Dunham is amazing. And actually, fun fact, he was at my elementary school when I was a kid. I actually saw him before he got famous.
okay.
So that was cool. I enjoyed that. But anyway, I'd say bullshit. The Democratic Party is the best ventriloquist because they got the best dummy in the world. It's the one that's our president right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting into politics.
That's a conspiracy on its own.
I know, but I don't like it.
But
I don't do politics.
well, neither does. Never mind. But you know, it all comes back again to conspiracies. Everything is conspiracy. Like when they started talking about COVID again, my immediate thought was, what else is going on?
Yeah.
What else is? I mean, even the thing with Trump. Trump gets indicted. It's all over the freaking place. Now all of a sudden, nope, it's COVID. or it's aliens, or it's this, or it's that. It's always back and forth. So I think for me, what it comes down to, especially with these conspiracies of these extraterrestrials and non-human biologics, they're testing it. They're testing and they're waiting for them to do something else. Something bigger is going to happen that is going to cause anarchy.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Watch, next they'll say the next strain of COVID is going to come from aliens.
Well, maybe.
That wouldn't surprise me either. Now they've started digging them up and stuff like that. Yeah, you could quite possibly. But isn't Biden an alien anyway? Because there's 3 of them, isn't there?
Well, that's what Dan's saying.
Reptilian.
See, Dan, we're on the same wavelength, mate.
Reptilian. I'm telling
He's
you,
in
there's
mid-
3 of him. He could be a reptilian just wearing a skin suit.
If he's a reptilian, then that man is shedding his skin
Well, no.
constantly.
Nobody said that older reptilians have the mental capacity to actually be smart.
Actually, that should be a good one. Let's get that one going. Biden's a reptilian.
That I believe there's some proof to reptilians.
Oh, I'm not saying there isn't. I mean, that's what I was going to say. You know, about the conspiracies and everything like that with these aliens and the reptilians and all this stuff. You know, we sit there and say that we're confident we know our Earth. We know
No, you
our
don't.
world. The hell we don't. We only have explored 10% of the oceans.
Yeah.
10%. That's it. Not to mention how many, like, we're still discovering, you know, lands and deserts and areas, and like there's so
They
much.
literally just found an island of all cannibals.
Well, yeah. Well, they've had a couple of those, but yeah.
Well,
Or-
no, this is one down in South America. They've never found one in South America.
Hmm.
This
Or
is down
what about the micro environment in China?
Oh yeah.
Was it China, Rob?
What's that?
That little ecosystem they found underground that they had like trees and plant
Was that in
life.
the cave?
Yeah, that was in China, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was China.
Yeah. So you know,
It's where the bat came from. Started with. No, let's not start anything. Conspiracies.
But that's like the whole reptilian thing though, is they could live in minor ecosystems or whatever like that in caves.
yeah,
Or
true.
like there could be some even deeper in Earth.
Maybe too. Well, and it would also explain like let's shift over to the Middle Earth, the Middle Earth conspiracy. That would explain in Russia that man-made hole, the drill hole
Yeah.
they have in Russia, that's 2 miles deep. They said they drilled to hell.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, who's to say they just didn't hit the bad part of the neighborhood?
They didn't hit the place where the reptilians lived, and they thought it was hell.
Well, they said they were hearing what, screams and chains and a bunch of different shit.
Could be interesting.
Who says reptilians don't have a form of slavery?
They might.
There could be more than like one species of reptilian, and it could be like any other like fighting tribes
Could be.
where, or like what is it, the Inca, or was it the Mayans that took captives from tribes they defeated?
I think you're thinking Aztecs.
Aztec, yeah.
It was the Aztecs.
Yeah, Aztecs did that with like tribes they were fighting. They would take prisoners and take them back.
Yeah.
So who's to say that reptilians don't do that too? The same with us.
No. Well,
Or
here.
the British when they did the African slave trade.
Maybe.
Oh, that's getting very controversial, Dan. That's your.
On this-
That's your
On this show?
That is.
On this show? Never. So then, Rob, let me ask you this. We'll start our own little conspiracy here. So, going with the alien the thing with the aliens, the non-human biologics. We've already seen in the U.S. the U.S. has came out and started saying it. Mexico now came out with the body.
Yeah.
Do you think the rest of the countries, like the UK, Great Britain, Scotland, Ireland, all of Europe, everywhere else, do you think they're all in on it? Think NATO's in on the whole thing?
Possibly. I wouldn't be surprised if they find one in Ireland.
Well, I don't know. Has Ireland really had any UFO activity?
It's an old country, isn't it? I'm sure there's something out there.
Or Egypt.
Now, Egypt I can see because, I mean, they have in the hieroglyphs about the chariots.
Gods.
These gods coming down from these chariots
A
in the
lot
sky.
of them, and now we're getting into what that show that you don't like to watch with me, but I like to watch, called Ancient Aliens.
I just think, look, Ancient Aliens is kind of like, it's like the Ghost Adventures for me of history.
I don't know, but some of the stuff that a lot of them talk about do make. No, I'm not talking about the crazy haired dude that comes out with all these freaking craziness.
He's actually the one I like.
No, him I don't like because a lot of the stuff he says comes from his book that he wrote, and it's all theories, which is fine and everything. But they have people with actual, they have Egyptologists and people with actual PhDs that have studied the hieroglyphs. And they say that one of the higher gods, Ra, might have actually been an alien because he's depicted to be on a flaming chariot. Where did he get the flaming chariot from?
Well, I mean, there was even a thing to where I was, what was I watching? I think it was on TikTok. They were saying that these gods of Egypt were aliens, and actually the Christian, and we're going to jump into a little religion here. The Christian version, oh yeah, you'll love this, is actually aliens. We started off, we ourselves are aliens, and this goes to the Stargate theory. Adam and Eve were not the first humans. It was something else. There was other names for them. I can't remember off the top of my head, but these two aliens came here, and the gods.
Well, you had Cain and Abel, didn't you? Cain and Abel, then it was Adam and Eve.
The other way. Adam and Eve were the first two. Cain and Abel were their sons. But, I mean, why not, Dan? Why not? Everybody else does. But some of them actually make sense, though. You know what I mean? Like, some of these theories, like my theory, my conspiracy with religion is they're all tied together. And I think, Rob, you and I have spoken about this before. It makes sense, but you start throwing these other theories that, the Stargate theory, where Adam and Eve, they were supposed to come here to settle, to build their civilization, and they recorded everything. Because that's the other thing too that gets me, is just like with who recorded it.
Yep.
Who recorded it? Who knew about these two? Who knew about all this? If there was only two people on Earth, did they write it down? If so, then where's their first-hand experience? Where's their documentation on that?
Well, the thing for the aliens as well, too, the visitations are becoming more frequent. Aren't Bigfoot sightings becoming more frequent, too?
Yeah.
The alien sighting. So that leads me to my theory that I had a while ago that I talked with, I think you and Marcus about, was that Bigfoot is an alien experiment, that they're trying to perfect a Homo sapien, basically, but they keep screwing up and making Bigfoots, and they're dropping them off here on Earth. That's why we're seeing them.
Bigfoot is just an SCP.
The only reason you know even what that is because of me.
Yep.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, they could have... There's an SCP, actually, that's, revolves around Bigfoot, but they were at one time a very advanced society, like more advanced than us, and it was because of the fact that they were created by aliens.
That's a good shout.
But because of the fact that they've been here for so many generations, they've become dumber. They've devolved instead of evolved.
Well, yeah, if
Yeah.
they're around us, I don't blame them. I work with the public. There's a lot of stupid.
Well, I'm just saying, like, even with them hiding, they've still devolved instead of evolved.
I don't know. To me, that the only one that really makes the most sense is Bigfoot being a part of that Middle Earth, that second Earth or inner Earth, whatever you want to call them.
I still think
They're just. I just think they're scouts. They're scouts for the Middle Earth.
I
Just make
still
sure.
think that most of the cryptids that we have at one point were just alien experiments gone wrong.
Or like Dan said, and I think Rob, we even spoke about it too with the UFOs.
Yeah.
We have better technology. We have better technology to record. I mean, honestly, look at, again, TikTok. Most people's lives are recorded.
Not mine.
No, you just watch everybody else's.
For hours.
But I don't know. I mean, there's just so many what ifs. There's so many what ifs, but if you think about it, it's still, even conspiracy theories are still, to me, if we're gonna figure them out, it's gonna be a paranormal investigator who's gonna figure them out, because that's what we do. And I'm not talking like these guys, and God bless them, who go out and are Bigfoot hunters or UFO people. They go out and do this. I think it's going to be a legit paranormal team or a paranormal investigator who breaks this, because this is our realm. Our realm is the mystery. We look for the whys and the what ifs and everything else. So Bigfoot is Shaq out hiking.
You have Yetis too. They're in almost the same family as Bigfoot.
Well, they apparently are, right? I think they're supposed to be like cousins or whatever.
They're in the same genus family, yeah.
Mm.
But they're like, you can only find them in like snowy mountains and stuff like that. So like Tibet and places like that, they've been seen a lot.
Big giant fuzzy pogo ape.
That's just Bigfoot.
Big giant fuzzy pogo ape.
Yeah, Yetis are not that.
Big giant fuzzy frozen pogo ape.
They haven't even found a footprint of a Yeti, so there's no guarantee that they even have feet.
Floating pogo apes. Frozen floating apes.
Anybody who's seen a Yeti in Tibet is like trying to freaking climb Mount Everest, and I think that's where they live.
Swap ape. Well, I don't know. Rob, anything else you wanted to chat about tonight?
No, I think I think the conspiracies are they're forever growing. You could do a show like this, and then by the time next week comes, you can add so much more to it, because
That all birds are cameras.
Well, that'd be a good one. Have you heard that conspiracy yet, Rob?
cameras.
Yeah.
That the government actually, birds aren't real.
Okay.
Birds are not real. Well, not all of them, but a majority of birds that we see.
Specifically, a lot of people with the birds are cameras theory say crows are not real. Crows and ravens are two birds that are not real, and they are just government cameras.
I don't believe that, because I've seen dead crows. I've seen dead ravens.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like,
That
can't be. I had an old boss, and you know him from Quaker State, the freaking
Which one?
The dickhead that made Mike cry.
Oh.
That I can't remember his name because I don't care because he's a dickhead. But he said he was very adamant that like all birds, and I mean all birds, whether it be a robin, a crow, a raven, anything, they were all cameras for the government, and they were supposed to spy on you.
See, I don't think all birds. I think there are a lot of birds that could be.
Yeah.
That could
I
be
feel
having
like
spying
it'd
on
be
us.
more common to have like one of the little sparrows or one of the little birds that are like super fast.
Not me. I think
More be like a camera because they're not very noticeable, the little birds.
Canadian gooses.
Canadian geese.
Canadian geese.
Canadian geese, because nobody fucks with them.
Nobody fucks with geese, period, or swans.
Exactly. So I think they're the ones.
So it could be geese or swans.
They've got a defense
That's
mechanism.
why you can't kill them.
I've never seen a dead one.
I've never seen a dead swan either.
No.
Yeah. So there you go.
If
There's a
you kill a
conspiracy.
swan in the UK, they're protected by the Queen.
Oh, that's right.
So
Is that still the
Yeah.
royal family still observes that?
yep.
Because I know King Charles has changed a lot. Everything.
Well, that's an alien in waiting as well, isn't it? Let's be honest. He's had the longest job interview ever. And he's only going to last, 20 years himself, probably at a max, and then time for him to move on.
You know, maybe King Charles and Biden are the same person.
Ooh. That's why they're never seen in a room together.
Mm-hmm.
You got off topic with the birds.
Yep.
We were talking about Canadian gooses. And Dan said he used to goose hunt.
I used to duck hunt. Nintendo, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Fucking dog. That's a conspiracy right there. That fucking dog. Why can't you shoot the dog?
There was actually a game Jack played that about that game. That the dog was like something paranormal in the game.
That dog is just
Like
nuts.
he would like leave the video game and come and like drag you into the video game.
And all the ducks are the victims.
They're all people. They're all people that the dog has dragged into the video game and has turned into part of the video game by making them ducks.
Okay.
It made me like I played that game when I was younger, and that made me scared to play that game because it freaked me out a little bit.
That game was the first rage game I think ever.
For anybody, yeah.
Yeah.
Minus Mario.
No, I never got really upset with Mario. That
Mario,
was
the original Mario Brothers, I got mad at a couple times.
dancing. Now I've heard it all. But no, it.
Oh,
No.
Frogger. I hated Frogger when I was a kid. My gram had a little, like, one of those portable game console things of Frogger. I threw it across the room and I broke it because I got mad.
But no, I mean, there's, like you said, Rob, every week there's something different. Honestly, like I feel like no matter what conspiracy comes out, whatever they present to us,
It's all the same.
well, not just that, but there's something else going on.
Yeah,
There's
it's
something.
to cover something up.
Yeah. And I think that's the biggest conspiracy of all is what are they not telling us? You know,
I
what
think
are
the
they trying to
government
hide?
made COVID.
Oh, easily.
Well, that was actually that was spoke about a lot, that it was China and Trump made it because they wanted to cut the amount of people in China because they were overcrowded.
Yeah,
it was
China
like-
is overcrowded. China and Japan are the two most crowded countries in the world.
I did
They're
hear
too
that it was
overpopulated.
supposed to be for population control.
Doesn't China still have that rule that you can only have like 2 kids?
So China or Japan?
China.
It's one.
You can only
one
have
child-
2. Is it 1 now?
Yeah. one child per. So you have to choose whether you want a female or a male. If you want someone to carry on your family name, then you just abort the female, or you put them out on the streets.
What if you have twins though?
Well, how does a mother decide which one to get rid of?
Call
Or
dibs. Whoever comes out first.
rock, paper, scissors.
I guess it would be who's ever the earliest born. At that point,
I mean,
they would have to time. The doctors would have to sit there with a stopwatch. Oh, this twin came out first, so they get to live, and the other one gets to do
I
whatever.
could just see it now in the ultrasound. You get twins, one male, one female, and at labor, at birth, you just see the dad going, "Come on, come on, come on, go, 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 go." Oh shit! That's a race. Whoever pops out first. Oh, but no, I've heard that too about COVID being for population control. But population control isn't just the amount; it's exactly what it is: controlling the populace.
Yeah.
And think about what COVID did to like the UK. What did it do to the US? They controlled us.
Yeah.
They said you can't go out with this. You have to do this. You have to do that. You have to do, and they controlled us. So it makes sense.
If I go on lockdown, how does that affect my job?
You probably wouldn't, because you're classed as a necessity worker, aren't you? Because you work for the state.
Yeah, I have to feed the crazy people at the place.
Yeah.
I work.
So you'd probably still go to work, but Matt would be furloughed.
No, you have to feed this crazy person at home. And no, believe it or not, even when I worked for Domino's.
No, Wendy's was closed last time during COVID.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, they all got laid off.
But anyway, like at Domino's,
they
considered us essential.
Yeah.
Domino's.
That was based. The whole thing
pizza
with
place.
Domino's was based on the
Stupidity.
owner's discretion.
Not at first. No. They considered us essential workers.
I think it was because people couldn't go to the shops, though, wasn't it? Because I remember a lot of the takeaways here were still open because people couldn't go to the shops, or the shops were running out of food. So.
McDonald's was open, but it was it was like a skeleton crew. It was like one person and a manager.
They just had their drive-through.
Yeah, but it was still just one person and a manager because my friend Mike worked up there.
See, I'm sorry, but here's the thing. If there's a complete lockdown and we're supposed to be home, we're supposed to be quarantining ourselves, make your damn food. Everybody at least has a microwave. Go to the store, have restrictions on how many people can be in the store at one time, and go.
Because our grocery stores weren't closed. They were essential.
Yeah.
But it was management only.
But what I'm saying is like these stores that have the automated registers.
You don't need a person. You just need a person to stand there.
Yeah. Well,
and make sure you don't steal anything.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like they have a limited amount of people that head into. You want to go check that out? I don't know.
No, that creeped me out. I don't want to go.
All right. But
I don't like when things hit the storm doors because it fucking freaks me out. It makes me think somebody's trying to break in my goddamn house.
Was that the
storm? No, it's Bigfoot coming for some reason.
Storm doors. It was those doors.
But anyway,
and I know we have ghosts in our basement, but they can fuck off right now.
But to me, it might even be Shiloh. To me,
she doesn't get
what she does. But what I think if we go into another lockdown, or what should have happened, is you should have a limited amount of people that are allowed to go in, or to go into these stores, have it automated registers or cashiers, whatever, checkouts, and one goes in, one comes out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like that way we limit exposure, stuff like that. Same way with the hospitals. Same way with you know what I mean. Like
we had that here. We had like a traffic light system. So it was like no more than 10 in a queue. And then when the light went green, you could go in. And then it would go red. And then when one would come out, it would go green. So another one could go in. And then you had to follow little arrows on the floor.
Yeah, we had tape lines in the grocery store. Like they actually had to go through and tape each register.
And nobody followed it. Nobody followed that shit.
I followed it because I didn't want to get COVID from anybody who just didn't care.
The funny thing was over here was when the government said if you've got a health problem, you can apply to your doctor to get one of the passes that says I'm exempt from wearing a mask. Someone put it online. The kids were then printing them off at school before the school went into lockdown. You could buy the special lanyard with the daisies on from Tesco's for £1. So all of a sudden, everyone was wearing these, and it was like, well, what are you exempt from?
Yeah, we were having kind of the same thing here. Like certain people can't have things over their faces because it's like claustrophobia, you have panic attacks, stuff like that.
Or
And
you have my mother who has to wear oxygen and she can't wear
Exactly.
oxygen with her mask on.
exactly.
Yeah.
But it got to the point where people were just saying, "Oh, I have anxiety."
Yeah.
Well, don't we all? It's
I
called
have
life.
anxiety.
Around on a bus. The first lockdown, when it was really rife here, I was driving buses. We had no shields up on the buses. We weren't given any face masks, and everyone just sat there. And you, as Dan said, you had to take their word for it because they all got on, and you'd say, "Do you need a mask?" And they'd be like, "Oh no, I'm exempt."
Yeah, and I don't know. Like, I agree that there are certain protocols that should be taken when it comes to health. Absolutely. But then there's stuff that's just like, okay, seriously. Like, I think a lot of the COVID just got out of hand.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like at my job with the freaking COVID restriction thing that we have up at my work.
Yeah.
They can't have any of the normal drinks they get. They can't have, like, if they want coffee, they can't have coffee. They can't have punch. They can't have juice. They can't have anything. It's either you get milk or you get tea. The only people that get something special are people with allergies, like lactose allergies. They can't have regular milk, not even skim milk. So what do you give them in that case? Well, you either get soy or lactate. Take your pick.
Well, I think what it comes down to is people just being smart about it. If you feel sick, stay home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you have to go out, minimize your being outside, wear a mask.
Wear gloves.
If you can't wear a mask, we now have technology now where you can literally order your groceries to be delivered.
You can buy the shields now, can't you, that go, around your head, and it's just like plastic visor.
Yeah,
well, see, and
Cyrus has one.
Yeah, but here's the other thing too that is my problem with it, with those visors. I'm not bashing anybody, but you're talking about something that is aerial. It's basically an aerosol. It's in the air. It's part of the respiratory. A piece of plastic in front of your fucking face is not going to stop it. Even like the masks are not going to do shit.
No, of course not.
Because if you get it on the mask, whether it's cloth or any type, you'll get it on the mask. As soon as you bring it home, you go to throw it out. As soon as you take it off, you're releasing all that bacteria into the air. You're still going to fucking get it.
Whoever wore the mask properly anyway.
And that was the other thing.
People only had it like covering, and I'm not doing the Hitler sign, but they normally only had it covering the top of their mouth with the nose, or they had it on back to front.
Yeah.
And it's like, or they'd take it down to talk to you. Oh, driver, can I have a single too? And then put the mask back up, and you're like,
see, my favorite ones during that whole thing were the ones that had it on, and they had to cough, and they'd pull it down to cough, or even when
my whole thing with that was I only did that if I had to sneeze.
Yeah.
And that was because I didn't want to get snot on the inside of my mask.
Well, you also wear the cloth ones.
But that's the other thing is, like, I like the cloth ones better than the other ones. So, like, I didn't want to get snot on the inside of my masks, and I had to wash it.
See, my favorite places, though, for that whole thing was restaurants. The ones that made it mandatory for you to wear a mask.
Yeah.
Oh, like when we went to Applebee's?
Applebee's, the Chinese, like the buffets. It's like...
We didn't go to the buffets. I wasn't...
It's like you put the mask on. I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
But then you go sit at your table, that's okay.
And then
you can take it off there.
Yeah. because you're not walking past anyone. You're sitting at your table. But the minute you go up to go and have a wee, you have to put it back on.
Yeah, but even still, your server has to come over. You're still around people. Like
we didn't
you're about
take our
this far
masks.
away.
We didn't take our masks off until we got our drinks and we got our food. Whenever we went out.
Well, COVID took a time out. COVID took a time out when you're eating. You can't catch COVID while you're eating.
Well, that's why I said, that's why we agreed when we went out to eat during COVID, when they laxed the restrictions a little bit, you could actually go out to eat. I made an agreement with him. I was like, my mom has really bad lung issues. Like, we can't afford to get COVID from anybody. Yeah. I was like, if we go out to eat, we are not taking our masks off until we get our food and we get our drinks. So obviously you get your drinks first.
And me being the smart ass I am.
We were both like holding our drinks up and pulling our masks out and drinking.
Yeah.
And everybody around us was looking at us like we were crazy. And it's just like, no, I'm not getting COVID from any of you fuckers sitting around here who could be asymptomatic.
That's it.
I agree with Dan.
But that was the thing about the fabric mask, wasn't it? It was like just putting a pair of pants on your face and walking around with a pair of boxers on your face. It didn't actually do anything.
And hell,
but
some
everyone
people
went
did.
out to buy all these fancy ones with like Hello Kitty on it or whatever, and it'd be like, so it's a fashion statement now.
As funny as it is, they're the smartest people to me during that whole COVID thing was the ones with the inflatable suits. Yeah. Those guys were the smartest. And the reason why I'm saying that is because they have filters. They have air filters that filter that air and cycle it in and out.
Yeah.
It's just like basically a huge ass gas mask. You know, and I've seen people with the gas mask without the filters on. I'm like, why do you even bother?
Well, Tristan has one.
But I'm just saying, like, that's like having a weapon, a gun, say, and not having bullets with it. That makes no sense. It's not going to perform properly.
But Tristan has one from like World War II. So
but that's different. I'm talking these people with like painters.
No, I'm not saying that. Yeah, but I'm saying he has one from World War II, and it's not recommended to get an air tank for it.
Yes, Dan, I agree with this one too.
Yeah.
This is the one.
How many people did you see doing that?
So there was so many old people over here that were doing that.
They still fucking do it.
They still do it. They still do it. There's a couple that I work with up at my job that every now and again, because now one of the units has COVID, I seen some of them yesterday after I left work. They were in the car completely by themselves, and they were still wearing their masks from being up on the unit. Yeah, all that.
So they've carried all the germs out of the unit into their car, still wearing it. So the germs are in their car anyway, so they may as well just take the mask off.
Yep.
Those types of people are funny, but I think the ones that are even better are the ones that wear the mask in the car and then get to wherever they're going and take the mask off.
Yeah.
That's what I saw yesterday.
I could not believe that.
The dude that I saw driving down the road when I was coming back from break, I guess, was going somewhere and then stopped at the gas station. Once I got done with work, stopped at the gas station, still had his mask on in his car, got out of the car and took the mask off to go into the gas station.
Wow. That's your next president.
He's qualified.
That's going to be the next CEO of the place I work.
I'll tell you. And what's even worse is seeing some of the next generation coming up. It's like you see them, it's like, these fuckers are going to be leading my country. Oh, shit.
But the thing is, like, over here now, since the COVID, they all wear these snoods now. All the youngsters wear them. And they're little fuckers when it comes to the weekends on, the way that all the fighting's going on. Well, they're all wearing these face masks. You can't tell who they are unless you catch hold of them. It was a good way for crime to go up as well, because all of a sudden you can't see anyone's face.
Well, do what I used to do at Domino's when we all were wearing the mask for COVID. Just do this. You just, when you walk by one of them, grab the front of it, pull it back, and let it go. you do it enough times, they'll learn to take it off. It's like, ooh, don't do it around me. Snap them a couple times, they'll stop.
He said he did find out when they left work, they are used to wearing it. They forget they have it on. I never forgot I had mine on. I had to wear mine because we had like 4 employees that had COVID. So we had to all wear masks for like 10 days.
I actually have done that.
And the only time I've done that is when I wear the thin ones. If I'm wearing one of the ones that I have bought, because it's a little bit thicker, I know it's there. So I'll always take mine off.
No, I had one from Domino's, which Rob, it was probably the best mask I've ever had. It had the filters in and everything like that, but it was fabric on the front and back, and it was super soft, and it went right around my neck and went up and over, so it was really nice. And the one day I was leaving work, I had it on, didn't even think about it, got in the car, went to go light my cigarette with the mask. What's worse is I actually inhaled. I put it up, lit it, went, oh, that burns. Oh, fuck. And I was like, oh, yeah, mask. Yeah.
Mackenzie, are you sure you want to go ahead with the wedding?
If we can find the paperwork.
You fed me. You're stuck.
If we can't find the paperwork with San Diego within the next, couple weeks, there won't be a wedding.
Oh, dear.
Oh, there'll be a wedding. There'll be a wedding of some kind.
Well, from it to get from California to here, it takes 4 to 6 weeks.
Well, they sent me the paperwork, and I just can't remember. I thought we put it in one place.
I didn't put nothing nowhere, and I told you that.
I don't fucking know. It's here somewhere.
Unless you specifically hand it to me and say, put this in an important place, I will put it in our file cabinet that is in my closet. Until that point, I was not handed an envelope and told to put it anywhere, so that's on you.
It might be back there.
That is on you there, bud.
Yeah. Either way, you didn't get rid of my ass that easy.
I didn't say I wanted to get rid of you, but...
Yeah. But...
We're coming up. Coming up.
I know. Believe it or not, we've been on for an hour and a half.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Yeah, too. And Rob needs to get to bed. It's almost 4 a.m.
Yeah, Rob's got work tonight, and then I'm driving up to the festival to meet Nando and I'm up there Saturday, Sunday.
Nice. Be a lot of fun. Well, Rob, I appreciate you coming on, brother, and chatting and hanging out. So, for those of you who don't know who Rob is, Rob, go ahead and give yourself a shout out.
The Patrol Paranormal on Facebook, or the Shadow Podcast every Monday night live on Parapost, Paralinks, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere. So
and
that's
for those
9 o'clock UK time, 4 o'clock Eastern.
Unless you use Google, then it's a different time.
Yeah.
Never do that shit again. And for those of you who don't know the Wicked Queen over here, this is my wife, Mackenzie. She is the Wicked Queen and also Wicked Consultant. You can catch her in her show, Creepy Cult, every other Monday-ish.
You know, when you work 7 and 8 hour days, it's hard.
I'm not going there because I'm gonna.
They're not 7 and 8 hour days. 7 and 8 days in a row. It's hard.
I'll get my ass kicked. But anyway,
don't even go there.
I love you.
Because you work more hours than I do. Yeah, you work with the public. I don't anymore. But my job's still tiring when I have to put up with stupid people.
It didn't say it wasn't.
You didn't say it wasn't.
I love you.
No, you did say it wasn't by saying I love you. So you can go right ahead and go fuck yourself.
I don't do that. But anyway, we'll catch you guys.
That's you told him.
You might be sleeping in the living room with Riku.
But anyway, guys, you can catch us. I'll be back Wednesday at 5, 7. I don't know. I'll be back Wednesday. I might I'm going to try to do something else where we have some more fun with this conspiracy. It might even become a series. Not sure. I'll obviously have my brother here, Rob, join in as much as he can, and maybe some others. Maybe we'll turn it into something. Who knows? Or who knows what I'll do? Because I don't fucking know. But I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. And we'll see you next time. And there's only one more thing left for me to say. Y'all have yourselves a great rest of your night. Have fun. Stay safe. And as always, guys, happy hauntings.